You were listening to a Nerd Room podcast, a member of the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network. Be sure to check out more from the Star Wars Commonwealth on the web at starwarscommonwealth.com and take your first steps into a larger world. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Nerd Room. We talk all things comics and movies. This is episode number 89, where we're discussing Star Wars, Marvel, and DC. Kind of a mixed bag episode. I'm one of your hosts, Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay.
That was like take 5 to start that.
That's being generous. Like 15, maybe.
We just spent the first 4 minutes trying to get that out and just laughing our asses off.
You should just leave that in, you know? People would think that they stumbled on the wrong podcast.
Maybe I'll throw it in the back end of this.
Like an extended edition.
Ooh, DC special.
Yeah.
All right, guys, this is a little bit of a mixed bag episode, like I said there. We've done a lot of reviews the last couple of weeks. We did the Defenders, we did the Avengers, so if you haven't checked those out, go back and check those out last couple of episodes. But we got a lot of news to catch up on, particularly in the Star Wars, Marvel, and DC realms. There's comic books, there's action figures, there's movies, there's Rebels coming out. So we've got everything hitting us from different angles here, and it's a great time to be a nerd, I'll have to say that.
Yeah, I mean, November's coming up, and around the corner you got Thor Ragnarok, Justice League, Star Wars coming out in December.
Yeah, you already saw Kingsman.
I already saw Kingsman too. Yeah, I really liked it. I don't know why critics were so harsh on it. Was it as good as the first one? No, but
Never are.
Well, Dark Knight, Godfather, Star Wars.
Okay.
One quick critic review was very strange. This lady wrote that she didn't like Kingsman 2 because she found it unrealistic. And in the movie, there's a statesman and they make whiskey. Very strange review. She goes, I got to find the exact review, but she talks about how in real life, the statesmen are modeled after Jack Daniels, and Jack Daniels has an operating profit of $125 million, where in the movie, statesmen had a profit of $3 billion. And she's like, "Oh, that's clearly unrealistic." And I was just like, "Is this what you're basing your review
lesson
on?"
learned here. We don't go to movies to get our history lessons.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Like that is
Get
just
outta here.
like embarrassing for critics. Like this is my opinion of film criticism today. It's not very good.
Yeah.
Except for us.
Yeah.
Always.
Top notch.
100%.
All right, guys. Before we get into some of the discussion on the news and comic books and all that, I just wanted to say a few things here. And we kind of debated at the top before we started recording as to if we wanted to talk about this, if we wanted to say anything about the incident in Las Vegas. And the first thing we want to do here is just offer up our condolences to all those who lost loved ones and who have been affected by this horrendous act of violence in Las Vegas. This is a place that, Troy, you and I frequent. We go down with friends, we go down with family. Yes. So it's hard to understand these type of things. And I have views on this, and I realize this isn't the forum for this. But I will say one thing, that as much as people want to fight it and all that, in wherever, lawmakers that in the States, strict gun laws have proven to be effective. They are here in Canada. We're not allowed automatic weapons, semi-automatic handguns. And to be honest with you, all of those type of weapons are made to kill humans and to kill humans fast. Yeah. For no other reason. Yeah. Not self-defense, not for hunting. It's for killing. Yeah. So something needs to be done about that. I'd stress to go check out what Jimmy Kimmel said. I retweeted that earlier today on Tuesday. This stuff really bothers me. It's senseless violence, killing people, innocent people, wrecking lives. But we just wanted to offer up our condolences to everyone there. And hopefully at some point, someone gives their head a shake in the government, lobbyist lawmakers, and they grow a conscience or something, a set of balls. I don't know, because something needs to change. I'm tired of seeing this every 6 months. I don't even want to go down there. I go down there on business. I go down there with family. I'm going to eventually take my daughter down to Disneyland, Disney World. And this isn't even a place I want to go anymore. Yeah. Like, it's scary.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's all we're going to say about that. It's always hard to segue away from these things into more joyous things like comic books and all that. But it's also something I think needs to be acknowledged. There needs to be voices out there opposing, even though I understand that we don't live in the States. I'm very proud to live here in Canada because of the gun laws and all that are here to prevent these type of atrocities. But I just want to get that out there and say that as a country, as a community, as a fandom, everyone's standing behind these people that have just gone through hell. And I hope that at some point in time, this does change.
Yeah, well said, Tim. And, sometimes when the world gets, seems like it's a dark place, I like to go, put on a comedy movie or just kind of shut my brain off for a while. So hopefully, bring some levity to your life. And hopefully this podcast, you can sit down and enjoy us for the next hour and a half, however long it's going to be. And just get your mind off some of the state of the world that we're living in. Because it's, they like to think it's a scary place. But it's tough out there.
Yeah. So that being said, gentlemen, I think it's time to drift off into our fantasy worlds, the franchises and the comic books and all that we love that brings us joy.
Your happy place.
Yeah, our happy place.
From Happy Gilmore.
Well, one thing I just wanted to say, as we segue away from this, I just want to send out congratulations to Talk Star Wars and Tumbling Saber. They both made the jump to Patreon over the last couple of weeks.
Boom.
And they're killing it over there. I'd highly recommend to go subscribe or become a patron to both of them. I've done it. It's a couple bucks a month. You get extra content, great interaction from the show hosts, and these top tier communities that surround both of these podcasts. It is absolutely incredible. Get out there and support these guys. They deserve that $1 or $2 a month to keep things going, to increase that amount of content. Like, they've got so much stuff coming out, and it fills up my podcast feed, and I absolutely love it. So make sure, go get those guys, go check them out, hit them up on Patreon, or just go support their podcast. And that goes for the whole Stars Commonwealth. Everyone right now is just cooking on all cylinders, whether it's Gen X, Road Squad Pod.
Yeah. SD Sabers.
Yes.
Yeah.
SD Sabers, Skyhoppers. Everyone's doing big things right now. And the whole Commonwealth is coming together, and there's an awesome community there to get behind. So support these podcasts with just a couple bucks a month and support the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Well said, yeah.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Now.
I feel like someone already took that slogan, but I can't think who.
Nike?
No.
Shayla Boots?
No. Oh, we'll just coin it. So there'll be no repercussions whatsoever stealing company slogans.
Yeah. So a quick side tangent on Nike. I've never pronounced the word Nike properly. I've pronounced it as Nike my whole life.
Oh, you're one of those guys. I know one of those people.
And
weird.
My wife and a couple of buddies were like, "What are you saying?" I'm like, "Just do it, Nike." And they're like, "That's not what it is." And they're like, "What are you talking about? What's wrong with you?" I'm like, "This is how I've said it my whole life. I've said it rhymes with bike." And you know what I mean? Like, Mike. Like, so I've spent my whole life saying, just do it, Nike.
Wow. Yeah, I know one other person out there too did the same thing, and I was like,
weird.
Jaw dropped, but
yeah,
that's crazy.
I'm one of those guys.
It's like Europeans that call Adidas Adidas.
I don't know, aluminum and aluminium.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. It's just
crazy.
But,
yeah. Well, I don't even know if I want to stay in the podcast now that I know you pronounced it Nike.
What do you hear about what TV I've been watching?
Oh my goodness! I hope it's not Inhumans.
Not yet.
Not
get
yet.
there.
Okay.
Gentlemen, we are a comic book and movie podcast, and to be honest with you, we have not spent a lot of time on comic books lately. And I want to get into that a little bit because I feel like over the last 6 months to a year, all of us have really struggled with our makers of comics, with DC and with Marvel, what they're doing over there. And I just want to see where our heads are at. We're going into October here. We've seen Marvel Legacy now drop. Rebirth kicked up a year or so ago.
Yep.
Let's revisit here quickly as to where we're at individually with comic book collecting, comic book reading, and if we've really changed. Are we resetting our pull list? What's going on with you guys in comic books?
Yeah, I'll take the lead. So I'm not really reading a lot of comics. I'm still buying them every week, mostly out of habit. But it's really weird. Like, you never expect the comics to run out of stock. But the last couple of weeks, I've had like a couple that have actually run out where I had to get a second printing, which is super annoying. But that's a side tangent. So my pull list is the same. My issue with DC is they're sending out these comics twice a month, and it's a little expensive. You know, I cut my list down. I think I read only maybe 5 comics a month, but that's 10 a month because they come out twice a month.
Yeah.
So I've been trying to cut down my list. I mean, I don't read Green Lantern anymore. I don't read Suicide Squad anymore. So I've dropped a bunch. I read just one of the big three. So I read Action Comics, Batman, Wonder Woman, love Aquaman, and Justice League. So those are the 5 I read, plus any major events that DC's putting out. I'll pick that up. I won't pick up any of the tie-ins anymore. I used to when I first got into comics because I thought I needed them all.
Me too.
But now I'm just like...
It's like Pokemon. You gotta catch them all.
Exactly, right? But now I'm like, especially with the Canadian dollar being so shitty, it adds another like 30% sometimes to your comics. So instead of spending $3-4 and, you know, the tie-ins maybe $5 and then 30% on top of that. So that's another $1.50. So it's $6.50.
Adds up.
Adds up.
$3.99 comic here is $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost
yeah.
flat.
And we're getting those comics, you know, every week, right?
Yeah.
From the DC end. So, yeah, it's been tough. I think last time we visited this, it was the Rebirth launch roughly around. So I was doing Flash, I was doing Batman, I was doing Superman, I was doing Justice League, doing Vader, doing Star Wars, doing Spider-Man, doing Avengers. Like I was doing a lot of comics and doing Old Man Logan as well. And I had to cut Justice League and I had to cut Flash. There's just too many volumes of comics coming at me. I just recently had to cut Superman, not because it's bad. It's too hard to keep up with, especially the crossover stuff going on with Action Comics there.
Yeah.
And right now I'm kind of on the verge of cutting Avengers. I don't want to, but I think I need to get to this level now where I make that commitment where it's like, you know, if I'm just not interested in the comic, no matter what the title is, I just gotta let it go. And Avengers for the last 2 runs it's been a struggle, you know. So yeah, you know, DC's been great though. It's just the volume comes out too much for me by the week. So
yeah,
it's been tough.
I get why they do that, because if you could sell 2 Batman titles a month, that's the biggest selling comic book out there, right?
Yeah.
So you're putting in an extra 100,000 a month as opposed to selling maybe a Martian Manhunter comic, which may sell 20,000.
For sure. And the quality hasn't dropped, which is the most important thing, at least for Batman and Detective Comics, right?
I haven't been following Detective Comics, but I love the Batman run.
Oh, yeah.
It's just hard to find time. I mean, there's so many other things pulling at us now, and especially with collecting. So, you know, we're kind of cannibalizing with all our nerddom. Like, Justice League is coming out, so they made all these new figures, action figures. So I picked up, you know, the Flash is $30, you know. Aquaman, $30. That's like 5
Marvel Legend.
Yeah. That's like 10 comic books, right?
Yep.
So I mean, you got to pick and choose. We only have a limited amount of budget, so the way I figure it, these action figures are limited edition. The comic books you can always get reprinted or back runs or
Digital.
Not me. I'm never making that leap to digital. Sorry, Tim.
It's interesting you said that, because I've had a similar type of step back and look at my nerddom as a whole, because at one point you're getting all the comic books from, or a lot of them for me, from Marvel, all the Star Wars stuff. They're doing Legends, you're doing Black Series, Funkos, everything. Elite Series. So it became almost too much. I was like, I really got to focus in here. And the comic books have taken the brunt of that cut in my nerddom. And that's really bothered me lately, because I really enjoy sitting down and reading a comic book. But I've had a real hard time outside of the Star Wars books getting back into Marvel. And I expressed this 6 months ago, and I expressed this a year ago about Marvel and how I found it really difficult to get into the stories that they're telling. But over time here with Secret Empire and that, I actually stepped back and bagged and boarded. I had like 100 comic books that were just kind of out and about, and I got them all sorted. I got them all put into the digital app of Marvel's that is a piece of shit.
Horrible.
But I got them all loaded in there eventually, and now I'm set. Like I'm clean slated. Other than Star Wars books that I've set to the side that I'm always getting, I've clean slated. I'm saying I'm going to pick up 3 Marvel books a week. That's it, starting from this Marvel Legacy, and go from there. I haven't picked up Legacy yet, but that's on the list for this week. And I'm just going to see what I like and what I enjoy. They've got one comic book. I've said this before too. They've got one comic book to grab me. If the story doesn't catch me in that first issue from this new renumbering and all that, I'm done. I'm out. And so I'm going to start with Cap and Guardians and Avengers, kind of go with my fallback books of books I've always read, and just see what happens from there. And I'm actually feeling good about it, because I'm done Secret Empire. I'm almost done Generations. I feel like I'm caught up enough that I can actually jump into this and just go at it. I'm excited. I'm ready to read comic books again.
Interesting. So for me, like, I'm a big Spidey guy. Obviously, everybody knows, that whoever listens out there, I love Spider-Man. I probably will never drop his comics ever. Yeah. Like the Peter Parker Amazing Spider-Man. Whereas Avengers, I'm kind of going to that route where I might drop it now, especially coming up with the news. We'll talk about it later, but with the
big event.
The big event going on, right? So for you, I know you're a Cap guy.
Yeah.
Are you going to stick with Cap even if it's bad?
I stuck through the Dimension Z stuff.
Right, you did.
I stuck through some other poor Cap comics, but he'll be the one I always consistently go to. And there's some interesting stuff in the Omega, the Secret Empire Omega.
Cool.
That's kind of like, they're teasing stuff for later on. So yeah, Cap I'll always stick with.
Yeah.
Avengers used to be like that for me.
Yeah.
But I just couldn't get into that Mark Waid run.
Mark Waid. How about you, Sunjay? You got a guy or a girl or a team that you stick with?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, I want to drop bad comics because then it'll show DC, hey, no one's buying these comics anymore. Maybe we should retool it. Because if everyone just picks it up out of habit, then
you get away with selling crap.
They'll be like, oh, this is selling 100,000, so obviously we're doing well. 100,000 copies, obviously we're doing well. So, but unfortunately, I don't practice what I preach. I still pick it up. It's hard because you just never know. I mean, you just have that hope that it'll turn around. I'll always get Justice League just because I really love that team and that dynamic, and just seeing them go on all their adventures is Batman and the Trinity, right? Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman. So those four I'll probably always get. Throw in Aquaman. I don't know. It's hard to cut, right? I mean,
it is hard. Sometimes you just gotta go with the cleaver and just start from scratch, clean slate it. Yeah. That's what I've done, and just pick them up as they go. I always have this FOMO, like fear of missing out.
Yeah.
And I don't want to miss out on something big, particularly an issue like the Riri Williams issue.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
And then the first issue or first appearance of Dr. Aphra. Like, you can't get those anymore in a single issue. But those are something you had to be reading because it wasn't like, here's an event, here's a big thing, come get it. There's a million of these on the stands. Yeah. That was something that was just a character that was introduced kind of organically, and all of a sudden they took off and now they're in their own comic books.
Yeah.
And so it's sometimes you just got to be a part of a run, maybe Star Wars, maybe Justice League, whatever, Spider-Man, to get into it and to keep going, keep rolling with characters. So you got to take risks sometimes, and sometimes you got to have your home base of comics. Just that's where you go back to your main guy, Spider-Man, Cap, whatever, Justice League, and just kind of go about that way and kind of pick and choose. I'm with you, Sunjay. I'm done with tie-ins. I just read Secret Empire. I read straight through in the Steve Rogers stuff. That's it. There's tie-ins for everything.
Yeah.
I completely avoided all that.
Yeah, that was one of my complaints with that event.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that another day.
I mean, I get what you're saying, but I just can't sell my books, right? Like, I don't think I'll ever sell my backlog of comic books.
I'm not saying
sell them.
No. But I'm just saying, like, you know, that there's like a issue that may be worth a little bit more. I missed out on Batman 24, and that was on like its 5th printing already. It's like Batman asks Catwoman to marry him. Yeah, spoiler. That they haven't announced that yet.
It's this week, isn't it?
Yeah, the answer's coming up soon.
Yeah, so
and I got my issue 24.
Yeah, you jerk. So, you know, I just got the second printing, and I'm like, whatever. You know, the story's the same. I get what you mean. Like, it bugs me that I have a second printing, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm not selling this.
No, never. And I'm a bit of a completist when it comes to runs. I think you are like this too, right?
Yeah.
And I need that first printing though. Yeah. Like, I'll hunt that out. I'll go to my comic shop or whatever.
Ends of the earth for those things, man.
First printing.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, actually, you kind of alluded to this Avengers event that's coming. We were promised with the start of Marvel Legacy that we weren't going to get events anymore. It's going to be running into this new renumbering. And one of the first things that Marvel does here is announce a 17 continuous week crossover event called Avengers No Surrender. This takes place within the pages of Avengers, Uncanny Avengers, and USA Avengers. So it's a new book every 17 weeks.
Oh my goodness, that's it.
So, for 17 weeks straight, not every 17 weeks.
That's insane. So look at the price tag on that. That's like, you're looking at $80.
Yeah. It's a big crossover event. It's a lot of commitment. And the problem with that, a little bit, is if you're only reading the Avengers, you're going to miss so much. So I get why they do it. It's a bit of a marketing thing to get people into reading Uncanny or USA Avengers. But at the same time, we're not going to have a continuous story of Avengers outside of the first, 4 or 5 issues that we dropped from basically now on.
Yeah.
And that's what we've been asking for, is continuous contained stories within a single comic book. So you can read just Avengers and kind of go with it. You can read just X-Men and have a continuous story, a thread that goes through this, like the Hickman Avengers run.
Great run.
It was one 50-page comic book or 50-issue comic book that had a single storyline, a single narrative through it that ended in a big event, or 2 events actually. And that's kind of what we want. And it looks like we're already kind of diverting from that path that they kind of set us out on. Said, no, we're going back to renumbering. We're going back to this. So this already kind of gets my back up a little bit with
Definitely.
Marvel saying, like, I get it, fine. I was always a big fan of events, but it was events that had long-running issues into them, and then they blow up Secret Invasion or Civil War, and then they kind of all collapse back down into their individual books and deal with the aftermath. We're not getting that anymore. I want a little bit more of that. I thought that's what this legacy is going to be. It doesn't really look like we're going that direction with it. So, Troy, will this turn you off Avengers?
Oh, hell yeah. This is kind of breaking point for me
the
right
nail
now.
in the coffin.
Yeah, because this is like, this is probably like the second time, I'm sure they've done it more, but Marvel's like lied to us. If you go back to Secret Wars 2, I think that was meant to be the event that ended all of the multiverses that they had, the Ultimate Universe and all these other universes out there, the 1602 or 09, whatever. But yet, going into this universe right now, this Earth Prime, we still have like other worlds, like the Spider-Gwen, and I think the Deadpool or Gwenpool. Like we still have these other worlds going on, so that's kind of weird. And then now going further with this promise of no more big events, and we have this 17-week event going on, which totally puts me off Avengers, because Avengers right now as a whole has been hard enough as it is, let alone reading this now, because now I'm forced to pick up 2 other extra books to get the whole story, which I'm not down with. I mean, it's different before. I think it's the Hickman run when there's new Avengers, or no, Bendis. Was that Bendis when there was new Avengers? And then
No, it was
also,
Hickman.
That was Hickman.
Yeah.
So there's new Avengers, then there's the Avengers, right?
Yeah.
That was a little easier to follow, but if you're doing 3 books, and I've never really been interested in like the other offshoot teams of Avengers. I've always liked my core team.
Right.
So I feel it's just pretty disappointing. It's kind of a letdown. The art better be hella good. The art right now sucks in my opinion too. So they got to get me back on board.
Yeah, well, it's tough, and we're really hammering away at comics here. But I know all of us want to get back into things, and they announced Marvel today actually a new comic book run that they're putting out that seems quite intriguing, and that's Old Man Hawkeye.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so this is going to be a comic book, a 12-issue miniseries that is set 5 years before the events of Old Man Logan, the original run, about 45 years in the future. And it's going to be telling the story of that Old Man Hawkeye that we do see eventually appear in Old Man Logan, the blind one.
Yes.
And it's going to kind of take us through him losing his sight. This sounds really cool. It's 12 issues, it's a lot, but I'm definitely going to jump into this. I'm intrigued here.
Yeah. No, this is cool. This works for me too, because it's a 12 series, 12 issues, right? So that's nice to know that it's not going to be ongoing, kind of like what's going on with the All-Star Batman. That's kind of overstayed its welcome. I feel like that. But no, this is really cool. And, actually currently going on with the Old Man Logan comic right now, he's teamed up with the current Hawkeye, which is pretty cool. He's kind of given him this whole little story about like, I used to work with the old Hawkeye, and he kind of went over that a little bit. So that's cool that they're kind of planting that seed already, that we are going to get the Old Man Hawkeye back. And he was great. He was such a standout, right, in that book. So I like that. Again, though, this goes back to Marvel being like, no more multiverses, and here we are going back to this world of Old Man Logan. So do we know if Mark Millar is coming back to do this one?
No, it's not Mark Millar. It is a creator by the name of Ethan Sachs, and Marco Cicchetto is doing the art. He's doing Phasma right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, he's good. That's a good one.
Cool.
Yeah,
what do you think? You read Old Man Logan?
I can't remember if I have or not.
He fights the Hulks and all that.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be
And
cool
it's
too,
based off like Logan, right?
Yeah, because
Logan takes quite some cues from it.
Yeah.
Because going to that book, like spoilers. I'm giving a little bit of time here.
Yeah.
Spoilers. But yeah, spoilers. So Hawkeye ends up like dating or having a kid with Spider-Man's daughter.
Yeah.
In that book, so that'd be cool if they capture that whole scene that goes on between the two.
It's really good because we revisited that before we went to Old Man Logan, before we went to saw Logan.
Exactly.
So we thought the movie's gonna be a lot more based off of that.
Yeah.
Right.
So you can go back and check out our episode, a prelude to Old Man Logan. We go through the Old Man Logan. I keep saying Old Man Logan. Prelude to Logan the film.
Yeah.
We went through Old Man Logan with Chris from over at Alpha Comics.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was a lot of fun that episode. But I'm gonna revisit that. I got the trade paperback, and I'm really looking forward to this Hawkeye series.
Yeah.
I really like the multiverse approach. Like I'm a big DC fan, and they do that tremendously. Yeah.
You?
I know. Shocker. Spoiler. Like, look at the Dark Knight universe with Frank Miller, and there's been a couple of those. I think 3-ish stories now, and they just released the third one. I bought all the issues. I haven't had a chance to read it yet. And then you also got the Red Sun Superman sometimes these multiverses are kind of cool where you can just give, like, as you said, a 12-issue run or a 10-issue run and then be done with it. You don't have to worry about continuity, so you could kill off a character and not have to worry about, are they going to come back, or, are they really dead? And then it turns out that they're not really dead and that they're a clone, and then the clone is a clone, and then
they're a scroll.
Yeah.
Little decoy.
It's the chameleon.
Yeah, you can tell, like, one-off stories because these characters have been around for so long, and there's so many cool stories that we could, and interesting situations we can put these characters in, and you don't have to worry about continuity because continuity can kind of be an anchor sometimes. I mean, you can't do a story of Captain America, maybe he gets de-thawed during the Cold War, right? You could do a story like that, whereas with continuity, it would mess everything up. You could just do a one-off shoot.
I like that.
Yeah, right?
Cool.
Like, that would be a great story.
That would be.
He kind of does get de-thawed during the Cold War, though.
I think it depends on, like, which comics you read, because don't they constantly update it?
Well, it's supposed to be like the sliding scale, right? Like the time slides with, so that everything still makes sense. But Cap still fought in World War II, and he's still, technically he woke up in 1963, we'll say, right?
Okay,
right.
yeah, so that is
kind of
Cold War.
Cold War.
Yeah.
But I see what you mean. I see where you're going with, you're doing more of the, what is it, Red Dawn with Superman?
Yeah.
Where he kind of wakes up, or he lands in Russia.
Exactly, right?
Instead of the
Instead of
U.S.
the
It
US.
used to be like, if
Kansas.
they kind of just did that with, what if Captain America was a Nazi?
That's
yeah,
true.
okay.
That's
Yeah, it's a little bit of a spit on that, but I see where you're going with that. Let's throw these characters into different eras and just see what happens if... Yeah, so it's kind of like a what if type.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's the cool thing because DC kind of handles it better. Like they do have the multiverse, but then when you mention like Frank Miller, his run is more of literally just a graphic novel. So it's not even like a set world. It's just a one and done kind of thing. Whereas like the Ultimate Universe, they do cross paths, and Miles Morales does meet Spider-Man from the 616. Like you get all that kind of stuff, and sometimes I feel like it's just too much fluff. It's just too much stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I'd rather just focus on like the 616.
Yeah,
world.
Right. Yeah.
But I see what you're saying for sure.
Have you been keeping up with the Star Wars stuff lately?
My man Vader, all day. Vader, I picked up Mace Windu as well, and then anytime,
the art in that looks rough.
The art is, I don't want to keep knocking on the art today, but it's not my cup of tea. Especially when you have a cool character like Kit Fisto making an appearance, and the art just doesn't do him justice.
But let's get back to that Vader book quick.
Yes.
This book is incredible. We're not going to spoil too much of it. I actually did a podcast with Rob Cast and Mark from Talk Source, TSW Comics. You can check that out on their feed where we talk about Darth Vader number 5 in particular.
Yes.
But the first 5 issues of that, Charles Soule has a gem here. This is an incredible comic book. Sunjay, you just finished watching the prequels. You should actually pick this up.
Yeah.
You would really appreciate what they're doing with Darth Vader. If you're going to pick up a Star Wars comic, it's his Vader comic right now. It spins right out of the back end of Revenge of the Sith. So you'll get it. You don't have to worry about too much continuity and all that. You understand the characters that are in there. But what they do here, what they do with Vader and his struggle with the light and the dark, it is incredible. It's one of the best comic books, the best 5 issues I've read in years.
Yeah, it's right now. It's my favorite Star Wars book. Yeah. I love it. I think this one far surpasses the last Vader run going on. And like I mentioned before, hats off to Charles Soule, but also to Giuseppe, because I really feel the strengths in this book is Giuseppe's art is really cool because it captures like the thoughts and what's going on with Vader, the emotions, because it's a little stylized. Yeah. Whereas the art before, going back to the old Vader run, everything had to be explained what's going on in his head. So you had to get panels across panels and a lot of text bubbles, whereas I feel like they do such a better job in this issue because you have Charles Soule having it and the art by Giuseppe. And man, I love this book a lot.
It's so good. And speaking about the expressions, there's a point spoilers kind of, but not really, for the Vader number 5. There's a point at which half his mask gets knocked off and you can see his Anakin underneath and Vader on one side, and they do this like yin yang thing with his emotion from his human face and the emotion from the mask. It's so good, like this one. And then issue number 6 that comes out this week, I believe.
Nice.
They're going the Grand Inquisitor, so they're going to get into the origin of the Inquisitors from Star Wars Rebels into the comic books here.
Yes.
So it's a great way to expand that portion of the Inquisitors that were introduced in Star Wars Rebels, and we're going to get the expansion of that there. Maybe see a couple more of them.
Yes.
I have nothing but good things to say about
it's
that
incredible.
book.
And I wish we got this in the prequels, because this is what everybody wanted in episode 3. We thought we were going to get more Vader, and this is the purge that we needed. And going back to the half Vader, half Anakin, that's straight out Rebels. When we see the Twilight of Princess episode, right, between him and Ahsoka. It's incredible.
It's haunting.
It's haunting, and I can't recommend it enough. Of all the books, like, get this one.
It's to the point. It's like I went and rewatched Rogue One again, and I went and rewatched Twilight Apprentice, like that last 2 episodes again, because I had to get some Vader fix, and
For sure.
because even in the original trilogy, like Vader's awesome in that, but he's almost emotionless to a degree,
Right.
And I find that Twilight Apprentice and this comic book does so much for expanding, showing that he's not just this robotic drone.
Right.
He's there's so much underneath there, and the struggle between the light and the dark, and
Well, it's really like, I know we're going a bit of a rant right now, but it really is what Charles Soule said in the beginning, that this is like the Batman year one, whereas, Batman before year one, he was pretty much like unstoppable. You didn't really know the weaknesses of Batman, but in that book, you see his weaknesses, you see him fall, you see him get hurt, and you see Vader get beaten up and bruised a little bit in this book, and it just adds that much more depth. You really feel like it's Anakin in the Vader suit right now, as opposed to just the full-on Vader that you get in like Lords of the Sith or Episode 4 Rogue One. It's just
there's always a point at which there had to be a point at which Anakin turned into Darth Vader. Was it when he put on the suit? Was it in Lords of the Sith? Was it in Rebels when he fought Ahsoka?
Right.
It's in this comic book.
Yeah.
He makes a decision in here at one point where he goes from Anakin to Darth Vader.
Yeah.
There's even, if you remember, in the original Vader run, there was that battle he had in his head.
Yeah, back to Mustafar.
Yeah, where he fought Anakin in his head. And he killed Anakin in his head. So that was meant to be like, no, this is when he becomes Vader. This comic book, issue number 5, this is when he becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about in that book. And, just going back to that little scene there, it's one thing that, Vader obviously had beef with Palpatine a little bit, and he had beef with Obi-Wan, but the thing that drives him the most is his hatred for Anakin.
Yeah.
And this book captures it.
Yeah.
It's brilliant.
So good. They're doing incredible things at Marvel with the Star Wars stuff right now. And one of the quick news things we'll get through with Star Wars comic books is they announced a book a couple weeks ago called Star Wars The Last Jedi Storms of Krayt. So this is going to be a prelude comic book that comes out actually after the film. This comes out on December 27th. It's chronicling an adventure of Luke Skywalker and Leia as they go to Krayt, which is a planet that will be introduced in The Last Jedi. This is that red planet, or the kind of salt flat planet with the red pops in it we see.
Right, okay.
So the minerals that are buried underneath there. So it's going to go into a bit of depth about how Leia is connected to that planet, because she also has some moments with that planet in the Leia Princess Alderaan, the Claudia Gray book as well.
Yes.
And the cool thing about this, and I'm just kind of spitballing from the cover here as to what it looks like, but I'm guessing contained within this comic book, we're going to get the decision as to why the Rebels don't go to Krayt and they go to Hoth instead, because this book is set in the original trilogy. They say during the Galactic War or Civil War, Luke's got his blue lightsaber, so we know it's pre-Jedi.
Yeah.
And so I'm guessing it's kind of in that familiar time frame that we're used to with Star Wars comic between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back. And they're probably at their scouting for a new base. And I'm going to guess here that 2 things. 1, that at the end they're going to be like, oh, we should probably go to Hoth. And 2, it's going to be said somewhere in The Last Jedi that Leia has chosen Krayt to be the resistance base because she knows it from the past.
Right.
So there's going to be a nice connection point there that they make in the comic books to the film. So it's weird that it doesn't come out before the film. It's not actually a prelude. It is a prelude in time frame, but not in release date.
Yes.
So there must be something a little bit in there that kind of spoils, maybe just ever so spoils a small plot point in The Last Jedi. They're kind of like, no, let's have this come out on the 27th instead of right before the film.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I'll probably pick that up because, with the Star Wars books, I kind of stick to more of like the Obi-Wan journals or like the Yoda stuff. This will be interesting, but like I mentioned to you before off the podcast here, is my biggest concern with the Star Wars books is that there's so much going on between this timeline between episode 4 and 5 that this book takes place, and it's getting harder and harder for me to believe that Luke was doing all these things before Bespin and all that before Hoth.
Yeah.
That's my only disconnect with this run going on, and I'd like to know at what point do they move on from this era and go after episode 5, because that episode 5 and 6 really intrigues me, because Luke is like a Jedi like knight, like master in episode 6, right? Like there's so much that's gone on in his training that you're like, wow, like he really is a Jedi, whereas I feel when he fights Vader on Bespin, he still has so much to learn. So just want to get to that point.
They're handcuffed in that time frame right now, and I think this is just Lucasfilm saying, here's your boundaries, this is what you can work inside. I would guess that there's something going on between 5 and 6, whether it's a cartoon or something else big that they're going to do eventually to fill in some of that time. And that's why that Marvel is stuck in this A New Hope to Empire, because they don't have big plans for that in the films or TV world. But comic books, fine, go at it. But I agree with you. It's there's so much they're building in there with Aphra and the Screaming Citadel, how much he's fought with his lightsaber. Because even when he gets to Empire, you still don't get a feeling as to when he gets with Yoda on Dagobah that he's done a lot of lightsaber training. That he's kind of done more of the piloting, more of the rebel soldier type thing, as opposed to being the Jedi, right?
Yeah. It's
supposed to be at Dagobah when he becomes more of the Jedi and less of the Padawan, right?
That's right, because there's a stormtrooper out there that was, pretty close to Vader that has the green lightsaber, right? Who later on goes on to train Luke at some point with the lightsaber. And I just find that, like, it's cool on paper, but I just find that so hard to believe during this timeline.
Yeah. It's tough, but this is what we got. And as long as we're getting that Vader, the Phasma stuff that's coming out is really good too. I'd highly recommend that. It's a nice 4-issue comic book that goes into detail about Phasma after she gets tossed in the trash compactor on Starkiller Base, and it actually really rapidly gets through that. So it's actually going to expand and probably lead directly into The Last Jedi.
Cool.
So it's not like it's going to spend 4 issues on her getting out of Starkiller Base.
Right.
Like, it's one and done. They're off. And then now we're going to new story, like beyond The Force Awakens, which is pretty cool. We're going to get some time filled in there before The Last Jedi.
That's not bad. Yeah. That's not bad. So we got Phasma, we mentioned. Yeah. We got the Star Wars books, and we got Vader.
Yeah.
And we even mentioned Mace Windu. Sunjay, what interests you? All these books
Something's got
all of them. Honestly, the Vader really intrigues me. If I didn't have all these other things going on, I might pick it up. I'll keep an eye on it. Is it out on trade yet, or
no? I'd probably get another couple issues. They might do the first 5 issues in trade because it's kind of a contained story.
Right.
Okay, I'll keep my eye on it. I know Indigo, if you buy it online, it's cheaper.
Yeah,
cool. For whatever reason, they just
I could probably give you access to my digital apps.
Oh,
or my Marvel comic apps, so you can read it there. I really think that you'd appreciate it, and you'd like it. It might be a nice kind of slow segue into Star Wars comics for you.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I need is more collecting.
Well, that really goes for anyone. To anyone looking to jump into Star Wars comic books, do it with this Vader. And then you can expand from there. Because Poe, you're pretty deep at this point. Star Wars, you're pretty deep. There's a lot to catch up on. This Vader, you can jump into it. Guarantee it, you get issue 1. You're going to blow through all 5 issues in one sitting.
For sure.
100%.
You're going to binge read it.
Yeah. Awesome. I like it. All right. Bring it on.
Awesome. All right, guys. Let's switch gears here a little bit. Let's shift over to TV. It's fall. We've got new TV shows dropping like crazy at this point. My wife and I sat down last night and I said, I wonder if any new shows have started. And then we realized that it is October. So most things have started. And I did a quick search earlier today and I looked to see how many comic book TV shows there were now, or comic book based TV shows. And there's an absolute ton. And I got to know, what are you guys watching from kind of the comic book or comic book adjacent type of TV this year?
Well, I'm watching American Horror Story. Yeah. Does that count? It's kind of
close. We'll call
close enough. Adjacent. Yeah. Okay. I'll catch the occasional Simpsons episode. I mean, they have their own comic book out.
Yeah, there you go.
Radioactive Man.
Yeah. Rick and Morty, they have their own comic book. I love that show. They just released the season in the US, and Canada, for whatever reason, we don't get it. But if you go online, you might find it. Hint, hint.
We don't condone that.
If you haven't seen it, do yourself a favor. If you're into sci-fi, this thing started out as kind of a parody of Back to the Future, and it kind of just exploded from there. It's amazing. It's my favorite show on TV right now. Just every week they kill it. And besides that, I also am watching Will and Grace. It came back. Yeah, and it's a good show.
Everyone's got their guilty pleasure, man.
I mean, I watched that in high school. I got ragged on it a lot for watching it in high school. But now that it's come back, it's a good show. So that's what I'm watching. Troy the boy, what are you watching?
I'm going to continue with Flash. I thought season 3 was the weaker season, but season 4 I think they're going to come back strong. I pretty much dismissed Arrow. It's been a grind to get back into that show, so I'll stay away from that. We'll probably continue with some Grey's Anatomy. That's one of my guilty pleasures. And keeping it ABC or CTV. I've kind of gone into like this show, This Is Us, which is just hits you on all the feels. Yeah, that show. So
literally every time we leave from podcast, I think it airs on Tuesdays.
Yeah.
We walk out of here with Troy and Sunjay. My wife's bawling on the couch every single Tuesday.
Oh, it's crazy. It's
Yeah.
crazy. It hits, they made a Star Wars reference in the last episode I watched, so that's a plus. Right
Ties
there.
it into the podcast.
There we go.
There you go.
Tip
Tim's
of Star
new
Wars.
favorite show.
Yeah, and I'm definitely going to watch Punisher, obviously.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah, I
wanna
really
see that.
anticipate
We don't have a release
that.
date on that yet.
Yeah, I still don't
They
know.
keep
It has to
it
be
very
before
cagey.
2017, they said, though, for
Yeah,
sure, right?
it's 2017 for sure. People are talking October, but as we get in October, we're getting closer to Stranger Things.
Yes.
So it might be sometime in November was another rumor time.
Right.
But those previews that have been coming out for it looks. I'm super
I
stoked.
can't
about
wait.
This.
I
Looks
can't
so
wait
good.
for this.
Yeah.
This is going to be incredible. And I guess keeping it Marvel, I am going to check out the first 2 episodes of Inhumans. I'll do it. I'll do it.
Bite the bullet.
I was a button click yesterday away from starting it. The thing that deterred me is that it's 2 hours. It's the first 2 episodes.
Right.
It's the IMAX special. I have to watch it on Shonda Man or whatever right now.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't record it, but
Yeah.
I'm with you there too. I'm gonna watch it. I've heard nothing good about this.
Or actually, I heard the only one standout, like if you even want to say that, is Black Bolt. I heard the actor that plays Black Bolt is actually pretty decent. He's the lead.
Okay.
But I mean, the guy has 0 dialogue, so what's that to say, right?
Yeah.
You gotta work with the emotions in
Yeah,
the face.
in the face.
From the previews, I would have said that Maximus, the guy who plays Maximus, was.
Of course,
he
from Game of
looked like
Thrones.
he looked like he was gonna be good.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued now. I have to watch it. I'm not gonna avoid it. It's 10 episodes. I'm probably gonna stick it out.
Yeah.
If not on a weekly basis, then it's gonna be once in a while. But I will stick this one out. I think the Inhumans. I think so.
Yeah. Star Trek, anyone? Anyone here?
No,
do
it's,
Discovery?
it's exclusive to the CBS streaming, right?
No, I think it's
I
on
think it's on
space.
Space too.
Was it
it's
on
on
space?
Space,
Okay, because
yeah.
originally it was supposed to be exclusively on the CBS.
That's
There's supposed to be a
right.
driver into that.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so they have expanded to space.
Space, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been much.
Budget looks pretty good.
Does it?
Yeah. I've missed the first couple episodes. I don't know if you can catch it on demand.
Yeah, I think you can.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll give it a go. Like I enjoyed all 3 of the previous movies.
Yeah. I heard this
So-
ties in before the TV series, so before like Captain Kirk, the original,
But for the movie?
for the show, for like the
Okay.
live action show they used to have.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
so
Wow, that's old school.
yeah.
It's always funny when they go back and then the technology improves. Because
Yeah.
like our technology has improved.
Well, that's the struggle they have with Star Wars right
Yeah.
now, right? Is
Yeah.
that they have to make the technology look relatively the same, especially with Rogue One.
Yes.
They
Yeah.
had to tie it because it was on top of A New Hope. So they have to
Exactly.
tie. I love the display screens and all that. They've done a good job, I think, integrating modern technology and the 1977 technology, right?
really did.
The look of it.
Yeah.
As long as they're conscious of it
Yeah.
and they can integrate it properly, I think
Yeah.
that says a lot about production design for me there, which goes a long way in a movie or a TV show.
TV show,
whatever.
yeah.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is another one that I'm going to stick with. This is the, I think, 5th season.
Wow.
It was renewed. Apparently, it came out that the only reason it was renewed, though, was because Disney told ABC, you're renewing this.
Wow. Isn't that something? They're the Thursday spot and Inhumans is the Friday spot?
No,
Is that
they're
right?
picking up with the Friday Inhuman spot after Inhumans is done.
Oh, okay.
So,
So
once,
next week.
you can catch this on straight to DVD.
Yeah.
Not even Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there'll be the 10 episodes or whatever they're going to do, 5, break 5. I think in our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. picks up in 2018, but it will pick up in that Friday graveyard 9 o'clock slot type
Cool.
thing. So I'll check that out. This will probably be its last season, would be
Yeah.
my guess.
See the return of Ghost Rider?
Probably,
Yeah.
in there. This will probably be a way to kind of run out the series and finish on whatever note they want to, whether it's bringing Coulson back into the MCU proper or whatever they're going to do with it. But I'm going to be on board for this, I think. I've invested the time into
Yeah.
it already, and it's one more season, 24 episodes, and I can get into it. Usually I watch it on Sunday morning or Saturday morning when I'm down here by myself before everyone wakes up. But there's also a string of other things coming out. So you mentioned Flash and Arrow, Troy. There's also Supergirl. There's
Right.
Legends of Tomorrow.
Legends of Tomorrow?
Yeah.
So that all kind of ties in. I like the concept of that contained universe. Never got into it. It's a lot of commitment, but I do like the idea of it. Do you guys watch Riverdale? I know you tried.
I checked out. I checked
No,
out.
I
did
don't.
the first 3 episodes.
That's my guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's coming
okay.
back.
I don't know. It is coming back at season 2.
Yeah.
Nice.
It looks quite a bit darker this one.
Oh, wow.
It's one of those ones that my wife and I got into together,
Yeah.
and for whatever reason, it's just like, yes, we're doing it. It's it. Guilty pleasure for
Yeah.
sure.
Did you hear the news about Sabrina?
Oh, yes. Sabrina the Teenage Witch
They're
is getting a
making
dark
Yeah.
Oh, really?
version. Yeah.
Same universe as Riverdale, like, but it's very dark. like her dad's the devil and she has to like save the world. It's based off the new comic book that is very dark.
Right. And it's in the same world as Riverdale?
I think so, yeah.
Same tone or same world? Because the Riverdale tone is, they've notched it way down from the comic books.
So they're in high school together? Like Sabrina's like
I don't know, maybe.
That would be cool if they did kind of like a backdoor pilot in Riverdale.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Be neat.
Like a spin-off, kind of.
Yeah.
Then you just need Josie and the Pussycats.
They're
there.
Riverdale.
What?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Salem the Cat can be like the Samuel Jackson.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
bridges everyone together.
Man, I love that show.
connected.
On TGIF, can we just talk about how great that was?
That was awesome.
Boy Meets
Boy Meets
World.
World.
Yeah.
So good.
Yeah.
My wife and daughter watch Girl Meets World.
Is it any good?
I don't know. All right, let's go about other big ones coming out this fall. Stranger Things drops on October 27th. Did you ever check that out, Sunjay? You're a horror guy.
I did, and I actually really enjoyed it. So
it's
I'm
so
pumped to
good.
see season 2.
Boy, it's it's gonna be October. It's gonna be Halloween is where kind of they're basing it around. So it looks pretty cool.
And 11, we just saw a photo of 11 looking like Princess Leia, right?
Yeah.
Doing the same kind of pose.
Doing the behind the neck.
Yeah.
So there's been rumors going on for a long time that they're pegging her for a young Leia movie or a young Leia role.
Oh,
Just to
okay.
see where you put that, especially with that Claudia Gray book that's just come out. We've seen her in Rebels already. Where do you put that?
I don't know. She's
Movie.
what, about
15
13?
15
15s,
tops.
Yeah.
Tops.
I don't know what you do there.
Where would you put her?
Well, do you know what'd be cool? Is doing something with her and Bale.
Oh, like the adventures of like Bale, like
Yeah,
and then she's kind of there.
with Jimmy
but-
Smits.
Yes.
in the film, and doing it's almost like a prelude to Rogue One. But
Right.
it'd be pretty cool to see.
Where
live
would that
action.
match up with the Ahsoka book when she meets Bale? Where would that be?
That Ahsoka. When is that Ahsoka book? There's
That's
some
cool,
time
yeah.
in there. There's a bit of a. I'm trying to think. We'd have to go back and look and see the timeline, how it lines up with Rebels.
Right.
Because she does have an appearance in Rebels as well.
And Lost Stars, we
Yeah.
see her and Thane,
Yeah,
and everyone at that dance.
What if
Maybe.
they threw in?
Right, that
here's-
gala.
Yeah, as we get off on this tangent, there's a few other things I want to throw on the table here because that just reminded me of seeing other characters from the books in the films. So there's an actress, her name escapes me at the moment, that Ron Howard took a picture with for the Untitled Han Solo film. She's younger, or she's middle-aged, kind of 40-ish African-American actress. And people are talking, is it Ray Sloan?
Oh.
From New Dawn, from
Right.
she was in the Canon comic as well.
Yes, yes.
And she's also in Chuck Wendig's Aftermath books. She's like the main antagonist in there. So how do you feel? Do you think it'd be cool to start integrating like Sienna Rhee,
Yes.
Thane Kyrell?
Yes. 'Cause
Ray
it could be even her
Sloan?
too. That would even match up if it's
Oh, yes,
if
yeah.
her. We've been talking about this big time, that when is Star Wars going to give us more of that payoff? You know,
Yeah.
we're reading the books, we're watching the cartoons, the comic books. When are we going to get Thane, or when are we going to get Afra, or some of these characters that were created in the cartoons and whatnot into the movies? Could this be the chance in a Han Solo film that we finally get that payoff?
Because she would be, because in A New Dawn, when that ends, that's before Rebels, and she's a captain,
Right.
and she's a Grand Admiral in Aftermath. So that's after Return of the Jedi. So she'd be somewhere in that.
Also, this actress might be too old.
No, I think
You said she's 40?
I think I don't know. She kind of
Yeah,
looks about.
yeah.
I don't know how old she is, but she could probably play that 30 to 40 would be
Right.
my guess.
Oh, yeah, because you're talking about...
A young Untitled Han Solo film.
Right, but sorry, which character are you talking about? The one from the Aftermath books, or are you talking about...
Ray Sloan, yeah.
Ray Sloan. So you're
Yeah,
talking- okay.
Sienna Rhee would probably be too
young.
That actress would be probably too old for her.
Too old to be...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, I think it'd be really cool to
Cool.
start seeing characters like this. And I know that spurred off of talking about 11. But I just got my mind rolling. It's like, okay, I just remembered about that picture Ron Howard tossed out.
Right.
And the thoughts of Thane being in a Leia
Right.
movie or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Because he sees her, but doesn't dance with her, does he? No.
I don't think he dances.
No, I think that's Sienna he ends up... Anyways.
Just Caesar. What about Han's wife? His supposed wife.
What's her name?
Something Solo, I guess.
Santa Solo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
This actress would be too old to play her as well.
I don't know. That's
Yeah.
another person that it
Right.
could be
Huh.
from the comic books. There, his wife. Yeah.
Yeah.
From that.
Yeah.
That'd be
We're
another cool
doing air
character. I
quotes
think
here.
we need to start seeing the comic book characters and the characters from the books make that leap into live action.
You need that payoff.
And it's almost, you could do it in the anthology films,
For
Star
sure.
Wars stories, because you can play a bit, I'd not say fast and loose with Canon, but it would make sense to drop them in as either an antagonist or a nice nod to something bigger. And you're not playing too much with that Skywalker story at this point, bringing in other characters that are very well established in other media.
Yes.
This might be a place to do that. But I think these anthology movies are the way to introduce these characters. Again, like this backdoor pilot type thing for, hey, we're going to introduce this character and see where it goes from here. If she becomes this fan favorite like they are in the books, like with Sienna and Ray Sloan, like I really like Ray Sloan in The Aftermath.
Right.
She's really
I heard she's a big hit.
Yeah. And so I'm looking forward to seeing more of her. And because she's strung right through the timeline from A New Dawn to the Canon comic and into the Aftermath books. So
she's on the Imperial side the whole time.
So, yeah.
Oh,
anyways,
crazy.
There's lots you could do there. Super stoked at where all of that could go. But a few more TV shows here that I want to run through. The Gifted, the X-Men TV show.
Yeah.
That dropped, I think, here in late September.
Yeah.
I've heard okay things about it. It does tie to an X-Men universe of sorts.
Right.
There is explanation as to why the X-Men aren't there and why the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants aren't there as well, apparently, tucked within the show.
Interesting.
So it looks like they're at least taking it seriously, the continuity or crafting from the source material. So I'm probably not going to watch it, but it's something that if it does pop up on Netflix, I may give a couple episodes a watch.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And Gotham. This is another one that's been going for a little while. We started watching it years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm not really into this very much, but
No.
I think they're showing young Bruce with a cowl on.
Yeah,
of some
it's like a
sort.
kick-ass costume. I don't mean
Yeah.
kick-ass isn't looking cool. I mean kick-ass, the John Romita comic where it's like a black costume.
Yeah, it looks very
No
weird.
ears.
Yeah.
It looks really bad. Really bad. I still just wish they went the route where they just skip like 10 years later. Bruce Wayne's training somewhere.
He's like
Yeah.
18 or something.
He's 18 and he's training, around the world, and he's becoming a detective, and that's what I'd want. to
Yeah.
see.
It kind of reminds me of that Darren Aronofsky failed film that he was going to direct before they went with Christopher Nolan, where Batman was like homeless and his Batmobile was a Cadillac.
Really?
And yeah, it was very weird. And he got the name Batman because he had a ring that like it was like a TW or something that looked like Thomas Wayne, but it looked like a bat.
Wow.
Like something very awful.
Interesting. Yeah, I don't see this getting out of this season, really. I don't know really anyone that watched anymore.
No.
It's kind of a cool concept, but yeah, we always said that from years ago.
Yeah.
Is that jump this thing up 5-8 years,
For sure.
whatever, 10 years,
For sure.
and get a Bruce Wayne that's either just come back from a year one style of training, even if you have to take him down in his age a little bit and kind of push the timeline back a bit.
Yeah.
But you could have done that. They didn't really go that route, which is fine. I think there's a Joker on there now.
They killed him off, then they brought him back, but they've been playing around and teasing that he's Joker, but we still just don't know.
Yeah.
Do you think with the success of Wonder Woman the movie, they're going to have a TV show?
I think there's a cartoon coming out, maybe.
Oh,
That'd make a lot
okay.
of
That'd be
sense.
really cool.
Animated series.
Because
Just a
there's
lot of sense.
two. There's Teen Titans Go, which is actually really cool. If you get a chance,
You like
to check
that
it
one?
out. I love it.
I
yeah.
like the original Teen Titans cartoon.
Oh,
but this
okay.
one's like more
This
childish,
is for more
right?
childish, but
Yeah.
it's got some good stuff in
Cool,
it.
cool.
And Justice League Action. So the thing that sucks about these is instead of being one 30-minute episode, they're two 15-minute episodes. So you can't really delve that deep into anything as opposed to like Batman the animated series or the X-Men animated series and those would be multiple parts as well. Especially the X-Men series, there'd be like 4 or 5 parts.
Yeah. What's like the Avengers or Mightiest Heroes is like
Exactly,
that too.
yeah. I mean, now maybe kids' attention span isn't that long, so they have to have quick, like 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there.
Right.
In and out.
Yeah, I mean, if it was 30 minutes, I would enjoy the shows a lot more, but 15 minutes, it's good to just throw on when there's nothing else on.
Yeah, because I know there's that Avengers Assemble or whatever. They're doing, I think, the Secret War arc right now.
Is that still continuing?
Oh.
Because they ended the Spider-Man, Ultimate Spider-Man, which was in that world, but they ended that one. But
I think they're doing it.
the Avengers is still going on.
I think so.
Wow.
And there's Guardians Season 2 coming. I think there's an Ant-Man cartoon coming out as well.
And there's still Agents of Smash, the Hulk one. Is that still
I
going
don't
on?
know if that's still going on or not.
Okay.
I don't really watch any of the animated stuff.
No, I stopped since the Earth's Mightiest
Yeah, me
Heroes because
too.
that was incredible.
Yeah, well, what about, what's that one, Young Justice? It's coming
Bring
back?
that back, season 3.
Yeah.
Can't wait
Isn't that
for
coming on a streaming service?
Yeah, the new
Yeah.
WB one.
Yeah.
Right.
There you go.
But you could just find it online.
Again, we don't condone. Last one here. I haven't got into this, but I've been meaning to get back into is The Walking Dead.
Oh, yes.
So that drops here on October 22nd. and I don't have any plans on catching up. I think everything dropped onto Netflix, at least the last couple of seasons. So depending on if I can find time, I may try to binge through some of this to pick up this fresh new season. I don't get AMC, so again, I might have to find it on the internet.
Which we don't condone.
I want to get into it. I did watch the first season there, and I did like it. I think it's pretty cool. I just haven't had the time to go any further in the show.
That's the thing. And coming back to this idea of so much nerddom coming at us, whether it's comic books or films or TV or whatever, there's so much to consume that you get saturated.
Yeah.
And that's what's happened with most of my TV watching, is that it's been knocked off. The big things that I've kept around are the Netflix shows, Stranger Things and that, Rebels, and a few others. Designated Survivor is another one I really like.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so that's a good one. But it's hard because, again, where do we find the time to watch all this? And it's like your comic books, it's like your collecting. You got to pick and choose your favorites. Yeah. And if you can get to the next stuff, that's just kind of the cherry on top of it all.
It's tough. Plus, I got the Commonwealth to listen to all the time.
There you go.
Can't be watching these TV shows.
I found I've replaced TV shows with movies. Yeah. So a TV show, maybe 20 episodes at half an hour, so that's 10 hours of time.
Yeah.
Whereas a movie is 2 hours. So you can watch 5 different movies in the same span as watching one season of a TV show. Plus, I just find it's nice to just veg out, and I can just have a self-contained story where I don't have to remember, okay, so this happened last week and what's going on again, and then I've just switched over to movies.
Yeah, well, it's that serialized nature of TV, of comic books, that sometimes hang you up, and that's why the Netflix binging has become a big thing, right? Because it sucks up a ton of time, but it's all at once. You get to consume it all, kind of just attack it.
Yeah,
and I almost like that better, other than it's a huge time commitment. But that serialized nature of TV is slowly going away.
Yeah.
Because people like these in big chunks of time. It's like a trade paperback, right? It's what do you prefer? I like the single issues. I like them because we collect them.
Yeah. Right.
I like them because I like having that floppy in front of me and just kind of paging through it. But a trade is so much more economic. And you get a better read the majority of these arcs because they're designed to go into a trade. You get 5 issues, 6 issues or whatever that go into a trade, and you get a continuous story through all of that.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of weighing some of those options as to what's better, what can you consume, and what can you go back to later. Because the nice thing about all these TV shows, either end up on Netflix or Shaw On Demand or some other streaming service later on down the road, and you can effectively binge watch all these. And that's what I do with a PVR. I'll wait till I have 3 or 4 Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and I'll kind of crack through them in the morning or something like that when I do have the time.
Yeah.
So we do have the ability to rewatch these things, pause them, stop them, whatever. And I like that aspect of it. I don't think I've ever watched anything live in the last years since I watched a TV show live.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
I do it's only because it's an accident.
Right. Yeah, no, I think maybe the last thing I watched live was the Oscars.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Oh, okay,
yeah. Award shows,
Yeah.
Probably.
The PVR has to be the greatest invention of mankind history.
Yeah, it changed how people watch TV.
You remember the VHS where you'd have to record it, but then it would never work because unless you were there at that time to record it, it wouldn't even work. You'd have to set the timer, and then it always cut off early, or you would try record it early and hope that it kept, and then it would always cut off.
Your tape would run out.
Yeah, it was awful. I mean, the VCR.
Oh, the 90s.
Yeah.
The struggle is real.
And then you had to rewind it at the beginning, and then if you didn't rewind it all the way to the beginning and you recorded it, it would cut off, and you'd be like, what the hell? Yeah. It was fun times, but I definitely, the PVR has been the greatest invention.
The way to go.
Yeah.
Let go of the wheel, fire, that's all been done. It's the PVR. If aliens came down and said, show us the greatest thing ever, I'd just be like, here's the PVR.
Yeah. Not the computer.
No.
All right. We're kind of wrapping up our TV talk here. We've touched on everything we're going to watch. Let's step into the film world.
Let's do it.
DC. The DC Extended Universe. Whatever you want to call it. They started to drop their promo art, and they're really ramping up, I think, this promotion machine for Justice League coming. We've got a month-ish, just over a month,
November
month and a half.
14th.
Yeah, so 6 weeks or so before Justice League drops.
Whee!
Thor before that. But Justice League, they dropped character posters for 5 of the 6 Justice League members. And they had color in them.
Yeah.
A lot of
bright color.
Yeah.
Vibrant.
So, do you think this is Joss Whedon showing through a little bit here in the promotion art?
That's a good point. I don't know, because if you look at the Man of Steel and the Batman v Superman posters, they weren't very colorful. The Wonder Woman ones, though, were very colorful. And I think she had some of the best movie posters I've ever seen.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they didn't use the movie posters for the Steelbook, but that's an argument for another day. This Justice League, from what I've heard, and I'm inclined to believe them and believe Zack Snyder, Justice League was always meant to be a little bit more lighter in tone than BVS.
You could see that in that first trailer. It wasn't a great trailer, but you could see the direction they're going.
Yeah, and I think when you look at some of the movie posters, the one we got at Comic-Con was brilliant with the faces, the Alex Ross art.
Yeah, that was good.
That's perfect, but no color, right? I mean, like, who cares? Because it was so beautiful.
Yeah, it's so comic accurate.
Yeah, exactly. But these color posters, they're bright, they're colorful, they're awesome. I love them. Are they Josh Whedon showing through? I still don't know how much he has control of this film. Some people are saying, he's completely revamped the entire thing. Others are saying he was just there for 2 weeks to kind of shepherd this across the finish line. So I guess we won't know until we see the finished product, but I like it. They're kind of neat. I wish there was a Superman one, though.
Well, it's funny you say that, because I have to issue, and I did this on Twitter already, a public apology to DC, because I threw these up on our website, the Nerdroom.net.
Yeah.
And I complimented Warner Brothers DC for not giving us a Superman character poster, because they've done a really good job at only maybe briefly teasing the appearance of Superman. We all know he's going to be in the film. We know Cavill.
Spoilers.
Yeah. Well, Henry Cavill on social media has confirmed that, of course, he's in this film. So we know he's coming back. But even with that knowledge, even with the fandom knowledge, DC has stayed far away from revealing how he comes back, or if he's in the black suit, or if he's in the blue and whites, whatever. And then the next day after I put this article up and complimented them, a Superman character poster shows up on the internet. So I immediately jump all over this and say, hey, look, I said, bravo, DC, and then you drop this post the next day. Turns out that was a fan-made poster.
Oh, tricked.
Yeah. Sunjay, you did this?
Yeah. I got him just to goad him, yeah.
But, yeah, so it was an incredible fan-made poster. Really well done. It fit the theme of all of it. But it turns out it's not. So compliments again to Warner Brothers DC for keeping this Superman secret.
Yeah.
If he shows up, if Superman's in that black suit and has longer hair or whatever, and they don't show that before we sit down in the theater, I will be thoroughly impressed. Because saving those secrets is not something they did in Batman vs Superman. They showed a lot of footage for Wonder Woman. And I want to say that Marvel's very guilty of this as well. They were all over Spider-Man Homecoming.
Oh, yeah.
They showed half the film.
Yeah.
And even Thor Ragnarok, like if you stay away from this stuff, it's fine. But they've shown a lot of that too.
Yeah.
But they've stayed away from this, and I'm pretty impressed by it.
Yeah, I totally agree. They're supposed to show one more trailer, but I'm not gonna watch it. So this is I've done all the the spoilers and the footage for Justice League. I hope they don't show him, but it would make sense for them to show him because he's a big draw, right? So Superman only fans, I mean, they know he's gonna be in the film, but maybe Ma and Pa Kettle, who don't watch this stuff as closely as we do, and the general audience. Maybe they don't. Maybe they think he's actually dead and they'll stay away.
So do you think if people, the common moviegoer, we'll call them, if they don't see that Superman's in the Justice League, they will not go to this film? Or I think as long as Batman's in there, now you have the recognition of Wonder Woman. I don't know if Superman gets you that many more butts in the seats.
That's true. I mean, this isn't 1977 anymore.
Yeah. No, I think you're totally safe that way. You got Wonder Woman, you got Batman. You're safe to go. It's interesting though, because I think if them holding on to the secret of Superman not being in the film, obviously he will be. I think that kind of like deflates the theory I thought. And I think some people also had this theory as well that Green Lantern would pop up. I don't think they're going to hit us with 2 double whammies.
Yeah.
A double whammy. Like that. So that kind of sucks. To the posters though, I think the posters are pretty cool. I really like this approach. It's colorful, but still different from Wonder Woman. But it's colorful. I think that's pretty cool. Sucks about the Superman one there. Hey? That's a bummer.
Yeah.
But all in all, it's cool. I have to disagree with you, Sunjay, though. About the Joss Whedon. I think Joss Whedon has done a lot actually in this film. I think.
Oh, okay.
Because he cut out Eisenberg. He cut out Iris West. I believe he's changed the music. I think he's doing a lot of different things in this film for the better.
Yeah.
You know, so we'll have to see. We won't
Yeah,
really
absolutely.
know until it happens, right? But
Yeah.
he's spent quite a bit of time on this film because I think they just finished filming, or they're still
Yeah.
finished filming.
I think they're finished now. At least I hope
They
so.
just did. Yeah, it's pretty. They're kind of close.
Yeah, you brought up an interesting part about the music. Did you guys hear that Danny Elfman, he's scoring the film,
Yeah.
and he said that what's the this composer's name?
Junkie XL.
No, from like he's done like all the big Spielberg movies. John Williams. Yeah, so his Superman theme will be making an appearance in this film, as well as his 1989 Batman theme.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. They're bringing these classics back, even though they don't fit at all in the DC universe.
And this does.
Greatest theme
I'll stand
of
by
all
it.
time. Yeah. So what are your thoughts? I mean, you know, those themes are awesome and amazing, but this is a complete departure from what Junkie XL and from what Hans Zimmer did in Man of Steel and BVS.
Yeah, and I love the Man of Steel
Oh, the Man of Steel
soundtrack.
is good.
It's one of
Great.
the best. It's
Yeah.
one of the best.
That
It really
first
is.
trailer is haunting.
Oh, so good. It's one of the best trailers of all time.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing. I think that a score makes a huge difference in a film. We talk about this every time I do a film review, is the score.
Yep.
We just went through this with the Avengers, is that they're fairly flat in the MCU. But if they can come at us with a big score and tying in those themes that are recognizable to fandom, to people that have watched these movies since the 80s into the 90s and that, I think that's a good idea. And we say this all the time, like in Rogue One, in Rebels, when they tie in some of those main Star Wars themes, we're always like, yes,
Yeah.
it just
Yeah.
brings back that rush of emotion. It connects you to the film through the music. And I think for us, we've always said that the score needs to be a character in the film. It needs
Absolutely.
to draw on those emotions. And if they can do that through the use of the Superman theme, through the Batman 89 theme, and then wrap this up into a much larger score, I say all the power to you. Go
Yeah,
for it.
I agree.
That's gonna be cool. So, did they say they're gonna use like the original ones, or they're gonna kind of like remake them a little bit, tweak them up for a modern day? Or?
For what I heard, it's going to be the original Superman theme kind of melded together with the Man of Steel theme.
Ooh.
You kind of got that though, didn't
Yeah.
you? In the Man of Steel theme was a bit of that original.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. It's definitely heavily influenced by
Yeah.
it. Because that John Williams score is just fantastic. From Superman, the movie, it's, you know, people say it's dated, but I still stand by those Christopher Reeves, those first two films. To me, that those got me into a Superman fan, and I will always love them. As cheesy as some of them are, some parts are, they're great. I mean, I love them to death. We have to do a Superman franchise review after we're done the Marvel.
I think that, well, that's the way that I think we'd go. And we'd like to actually hear from you guys.
Yeah.
What would you like to see next? Because I think we continue after we get into May next year when Infinity War drops. And yeah, we'll continue to do the weekend of release reviews for everything big in the DC, Marvel, and Star Wars.
Yeah.
But I'd like us to continue to do X-Men or Superman. I think we swing over to DC for sure.
Yeah.
Was it Dark Knight or Superman, and do a retrospective on that. Those are a lot shorter time commitment as well.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
a couple months. But continue the rollout of the retrospective series of once a month and kind of go through different movies. So if you guys have suggestions, throw them to us on Twitter, whatever.
Yeah, let us know. I got an idea. Okay, this is what we'll do. All three of us will all suggest one franchise once we're done with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then we'll have our viewers, our listeners, unless they're watching us right now, our listeners vote on which one they would like to see, and we'll have a write-in candidate. And just let us know what you guys think. What do you guys think of that? I mean, you guys have any franchises that you're dying to discuss with us?
Yeah, because, you know, we do have a 100th episode coming up here.
Yes, that's right.
Oh,
And the MCU retrospective is what we announced on our 1 year. And so hopefully at some point we're going to roll up maybe some more content here coming out of the Nerd Room. And
yeah.
if that's another retrospective series, that's the way we're going to go.
Cool.
So
Ooh.
little tease there. We got still 11 episodes or so to go. So we got quite a bit of time to sort and iron some of this out. But 100th episode, we're going to be doing big things here again. We're constantly evolving, constantly trying to change here in the Nerd Room. I know we've gone off on a huge tangent.
I don't even know where we began, to be honest with you.
Somewhere in Justice League. Actually, this all kicked off with an Elfman score.
Oh,
Yes,
And
that's
now
right.
we're teasing our 100th episode.
Danny Elfman.
So the wheels are turning here at the Nerd Room. Just know that, guys. And if you got suggestions, whatever, toss them this way.
Cool.
Back to Justice League.
Yes,
Let's
my
wrap
favorite
this up
topic.
because we got to get into a little Star Wars talk here before we cap off this episode. I'm actually excited for this. The thing that excites me, though, is that Joss Whedon is part of this. Zack Snyder, for some of his faults, there's some good stuff there. The Batman scene and the warehouse scene. Whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, we're not getting into that. We're not getting into Batman. This happens every podcast with me.
Yeah.
But I'm excited for this, and I'm hearing good things. Like, I'm actually quite happy that Lex Luthor was cut out of this film.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to watch this because I think this is going to be a very different viewing experience than we had initially anticipated when we knew this movie was coming, when we did our when we did our most anticipated for 2017.
Yeah.
Didn't even make my list, and now
No.
I'm going to see it opening night.
Yeah. So there you go.
I was thinking of taking the day off after from work on the Friday. So see it the Thursday, and then the Friday see it 3 times during the day.
Really? I'm off that Friday, so...
Do you want to do it?
Let me know.
Yeah?
We'll see how good the Thursday viewing is, I guess.
But that's like $60.
Yeah.
Just stay in the theater. We don't
Yeah,
condone
just
that.
like put a mustache on and be like, I'm
Hide under the
Superman.
seats.
Yeah.
I'm different.
I don't think, Troy, you could hide under the seat. They'd be like, who's that hulking guy behind the seats there?
Yeah. So, you can catch us hiding behind the seats at your local Cineplex or
They're
Landmark.
gonna be like, why are these 2 guys hiding behind the seats together? Like, I don't really know what's going on here.
Just gonna leave them.
Yeah.
This is for Rob Wade. Oh my. All right, on that segue, not really, but I'm going to transition very poorly into Star Wars.
Speaking of Star Wars.
Yes, speaking of Star Wars, let's get a little collecting here.
Okay. Actually, I almost purchased Star Wars on VHS. Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. That's
You should've
episode
done
2, right?
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah.
I didn't even know that came on VHS.
Yeah.
I was totally shocked.
I have Phantom Menace on
I have Phantom Menace as well.
with the whatever.
It's the pod race on the...
Yeah, but it's like
front
that, not hologram, but that lithograph or whatever.
Oh,
on
really?
The front, it's like that gold plastic case.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's gold. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what mine was. Yeah.
Yeah, and it came with like a little card in the front that when you turned it, it kind of moved.
Oh, okay.
Cool.
I don't think that lasted for me.
But one of the stores that we frequent quite a bit to find some of these Black Series and 3 3/4 inch, what have you, is Toys R Us, and they filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Yeah.
And that worried me quite a bit. They've piled up about a $6 billion debt
Wow.
over the last couple of years.
Oof.
And they've got some sort of loan, some sort of extension to hold them over, I think, until the new year. They got their big proving ground is Christmas time. And I want to get your guys' thoughts and opinions here on, one, what could happen if Toys R Us disappears from Canada and the US, and 2, what would drive you into a toy store? Like, what gives you that motivation to not just shop for everything online? Because we do have that convenience factor with online, but Toys R Us needs to come up with some sort of plan to drive people back into toy stores. What do you guys think that could be?
Yeah, so what would the landscape look like in Canada, especially if Toys R Us goes under? It would be a wasteland because in Canada we don't have Target, we lost Zellers. I think everyone lost Zellers. We don't have Kmart. I don't even know if that's still around.
Yeah, it came out in the States. Used to be here. Not
Yeah. So there's so many stores, and then if Toys R Us goes, the only place would be Walmart. And
because Indigo even stopped doing all their
They only have an online
Yeah.
catalog, EB Games, which has been great.
Yeah, they've been
I'm going to
stepping
plug
up.
them
Yeah.
here. Yeah, they've been great.
I remember as a kid, Sears had a great toy section. Zellers, The Bay had
Bay.
a great. It was amazing.
Yeah, even Canadian Tire. Was it Canadian Tire?
Canadian
Save Like
Tire?
Santa?
Canadian Tire
Yeah.
at Christmas time
Yeah.
does have a toy section.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. But like every Superstore had a toy section now. I think they still do, but it's cut
really
way.
small.
Yeah.
Like for when the Force Awakens dropped, that was one of the main places I was getting 3 3/4 inch.
Oh,
Wow,
It was from
okay.
Superstore.
So when you
which
said
is a
it's
grocery
small,
store in Canada.
you meant literally small.
Yeah.
It would be a wasteland. I would be so disappointed because I love going to Toys R Us. Picking up, it's one of the only places I could get the Wonder Woman action figures. Walmart didn't carry them for some reason, which shocked me. It's only the biggest movie of the summer. Like, hello, Walmart.
That goes to Homecoming.
Sorry, I meant domestically. Okay, I don't know how your numbers are
You and
getting
your
skewed.
semantics.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at the no, I'm just kidding. And then like Justice League, even Walmart doesn't have much. It's Toys R Us where I've been finding success. I'd be so disappointed. I've seen so many great stores that I grew up with go to the wayside. I mean, childhood now compared to when we grew up, completely different, and it wasn't even that long ago.
Well, the internet changed that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we still grew up with the internet, but it wasn't nearly the
I didn't have the
intrusion as it
properly
is.
until I was in high school.
I had AOL.
Yeah. Dial up.
Stealing songs off of the internet was something I did.
Napster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't get the appeal of online to an extent. I mean, the big thing I collect is movies, and I want the movie now, and I want the collectible now. So when people buy something online and they say, oh, it's cheaper, they don't factor in that they don't get the product right away. They have to ship it through the mail, which could take a couple days, maybe a week, depending where it's coming from. Whereas if you just go to the store, and you pick it up, maybe you pay $2-3 more, but you get the product and you can use it immediately. So that's where I'm coming from.
It's like same day shipping though.
But it's like 2-day is Amazon's best, right?
It's to Canada.
To Canada.
That's until they put the headquarters in Calgary.
Yeah,
Fingers
exactly. We're in the
crossed.
bid for it, right?
Yeah. That'd be amazing.
That'd be incredible.
But yeah, like I see. Maybe I'm just too out of touch. Do you guys buy most of your stuff online, or?
I don't buy anything really online unless it's something I cannot find. I'm like you, and I'm going to play a little devil's advocate here, though. With online shopping, it's convenience, it's accessibility to things that you can't get, and it shows up at your doorstep and you don't have to leave your house. Now, whether or not that's what you want your experience to be, it's another story. But for me, I like going on the hunt, on the toy run.
Absolutely.
And getting in there and getting in the trenches and having that euphoric moment when you grab that hair, when you grab whatever, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh my God, I got it. Like, sometimes it's agonizing and sometimes there's a lot of anxiety built into it.
Yeah.
I like that experience of going to the toy store. How does Toys R Us capture that experience for everybody? They have to rethink on how, maybe it's store layout or whatever, but they have to rethink on how to make going to the toy store again an experience. The thing I always go back to is, do you remember that scene in Home Alone 2 when he walks into that giant toy store and he's blown away? That's how every kid needs to feel going into a Toys R Us. Just completely blown away. They need to have the trains going. They need to have the Lego set up. They need to have just an experience. Now, they're doing a bit of this now. They've announced that they're doing this augmented reality thing where you have your phone up and you're in the store and you go to certain places and things pop up. But it needs to be interactive, more so than on your phone or whatever. Not every kid has a phone. And yeah, they'll be walking around with an iPad or whatever. But to me, it's got to be that experience. That's the thing that they can leverage with a brick and mortar store over top of online shopping, is that you come to Toys R Us and you have an experience. This is a toy store from what you remember as a kid, like from our generation. Like, I remember going in and just being like jaw drop with pegs of figures and how things were set up and laid out. Like, the Star Wars wasn't tucked off in a corner. Maybe because it's not, for me, a toy store. It's not focused on me, but to me, it's the experience that you need to promote.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. I got to say, apart from the first time you and I went to First Friday, that's probably the most success I've ever had at an actual Toys R Us. Yeah. I got to be honest. I've gone to EB Games and I've gone to Walmart and Chapters and online and my comic book shops, and that's where I've gone my most successful hunts. It hasn't really been often in Toys R Us, and I feel like they've been lacking for quite some time. Obviously they have been, because they filed for that Chapter 11. It's unfortunate, just like how we lost the Blockbusters and the HMVs. Like, I love CDs and I love that's probably the experience when you went on dates, is going to Blockbuster and picking your movies and whatnot, right? And that's all gone. But unfortunately for Toys R Us, they've just been lacking in that sense. But we still have the Walmarts, we still have these other places that provide, and I feel like Walmart does it all, whereas Toys R Us only focused on that one, and they still failed in that sense. Like you mentioned Lego, but I just went into Lego the other day, literally just to see the Millennium Falcon, because they have these cool displays going on. They draw you into their store. Toys R Us isn't doing that.
My daughter is just about to turn 3, and every time we go to the mall, can we go to the Lego store? Because they got a bin of Lego set up that the kids can dump their hands
Right.
into
Yeah.
and play for a bit while I'm wandering around looking at all the displays.
That's right. It's
Smart.
part of the experience.
Yeah.
You mentioned, or you go to the Disney store again, another place that
Yeah.
had great success. These guys, when they open, they put on a show. They have this big key, and my daughter loves it. Like, all kids love it. It's part of the experience. Again, Toys R Us isn't doing those kind of things. All these places are giving you the kind of gimmicks that they can offer. EB Games, they have midnight releases for certain things. It's a cool event. Force Fridays have been a letdown since the one we went to. Even that one was kind of hard because you could only walk out with 2 figures, I believe, right? That's one of their big events, and they've been dropping the ball there too. So their time has kind of come and gone for them to step up to the plate.
Well, it's that refusal to evolve, and you saw this with Kodak. You saw this with Blockbuster. They refuse to shift their business model into something different. To recognize what they need to do to compete with the Netflix, to compete with the digital camera and all that. And it seems like Toys R Us is going down a similar path where they're not evolving. They've looked the same and felt the same for 15, 20 years. And it's time to step up and do something different. It's interesting that you point out Lego and the Disney store, because that's exactly what they are. My daughter freaking loves going in there.
Right.
But she likes going to Toys R Us, but she always just gets so thrown off and confused. There's no focus in there.
Or flow.
Yeah. She just goes in, and then she kind of goes, she likes babies and stuff like that. So she goes into there, and I'm kind of across the way looking at Star Wars stuff. But yeah, I don't know what exactly you need to do, but it's about the experience. And it's about product too, because you say, EB Games, we've had so much success in there. You still can go in there and find Guardians Wave. You can find the Luke and Ray speeder, although they are overpriced. But they're still there, and they're always there. You go in, and they're usually stacked deep. And having that product on the shelf makes a big difference. That's why we go to EB Games, because they consistently have the product on the shelves. And sometimes you miss things here and there, but you know it's there because you see remnants of the waves.
That's right.
That's what you need. You need to have the confidence that I could be that person that goes in there on the random Saturday or Tuesday or whatever and actually get these action figures. And with Toys R Us, you don't have that confidence. It's like I could go there every single week and the same things are on the pegs.
I mean, I mentioned this to you before too. It's 2017, and Toys R Us doesn't even have an app.
Do you think that action figures, they're more geared towards adults now, whereas when we were kids, you could save up your allowance, and I remember, the X-Men wave figures were $10.
Oh yeah.
And they were like, they're smaller, less detailed, but I didn't care. Like, I still played with them, and I loved them, and I thought they're amazing. Now you get the Justice League, the Marvel Legends, they're $30. And it wasn't even that long ago. There's no way that the price is inflated 3 times what it is.
But those are 6-inch compared to like 5-inch.
Yeah.
So you still have the 3 3/4 Star Wars and Marvel that come out.
Oh, okay.
That are $8.
Oh, okay. So this is fairly reasonable.
Yeah.
And I mean, do you think, I've heard this bandied about online, but one thing that Toys R Us is looking into is after hours, like birthday parties and stuff like that, to kind of draw kids in, and then you can, buy the space, and then you can buy the products there, and maybe have like special products, or every kid gets a toy kind of thing.
Like kids' birthdays, would I take my daughter there for a birthday? Probably not. Because what's there to do there? Like at least when the ones at like the Cineplex and they have that, you do the party and go watch a movie. This is, I guess you can play with some toys, but they'd probably much rather be running around on slides and all this kind of stuff, right?
That's true, yeah.
So it seems like you'd have to commit to more of an event style release for a wave of something, whether it's Star Wars or Marvel or DC, something to that effect. Hire the 501st to come in and wander around the store. And,
or if you're picking up the Black Series lightsabers or something, like have some dudes in there or girls that are using the lightsabers, like
San Diego Sabers,
come on down to Toys R Us and save this place, and give us a demonstration on the combat skills, like something like that would be kind of cool to see, because they're just not really offering much.
Again, it's an experience, it's an event. I've always thought it'd be cool at a Toys R Us, the midnight releases, if they paid someone to put a screen up and just had the trailers roll, even if they can't get the rights to show the films, just roll the trailers, have the 501st show up, have hot dogs, whatever, make it an experience. And I think that's what they're lacking, both in the store and for events.
Right.
So
definitely.
That's cool.
Anyways, let's talk about some of the products that we do sometimes commonly find within the Disney store and Toys R Us. The Elite Series, Wave 2. I know you guys don't get into this. This is the die-cast action figures, the 6 to 7 inch, the Disney store exclusive. We had their first wave drop on Force Friday at the Disney store. They are shelf camping. as we had predicted.
Oh, yeah.
These things are stacked deep. They're not going anywhere. They'll probably be discounted the same way we saw the Force Awakens and Rogue One figures down to about, I don't know, $6-7
Yeah,
from 33.
super cheap.
So I did pick up 2 on Force Friday, but I'm waiting the rest of those out. And we talked about evolution of a product and evolution of a store. This is a line that needs a serious facelift because
No pun intended.
yeah, literally a facelift on the figures, on the paint jobs, and the paint apps. But overall, as a line, they're just not selling. And something they're doing a little different here with Wave 2, which kind of surprised me. We talked about in the past about how this needed to change to become more of an exclusive run of figures. Make them harder to get. If you remember back to just before The Force Awakens, they did 6 weeks of limited releases that required a raffle. You had to go into the store, take a ticket, and you sat there, and there was 12 per store. And if you had a ticket there and they called that ticket, you got to get the action figure. And my wife did this for 3 weeks for me, and she ended up only getting the Vader. I ended up getting, this is the prequel and the original trilogy, the Vader, Boba Fett, Stormtrooper, Anakin, Maul, and Grievous.
Right.
I've never seen the Grievous ever. But these are really hard to get and made that line and got people excited for it. Since then, they haven't done really anything like that. They've had a few exclusive releases, the prototype Boba Fett on Force Friday or Star Wars Day, May the 4th, a couple years ago. But with this second wave, they've gone back to this individual week release for these figures, not dropping a whole wave at once. So over the course of the next 6 weeks, starting on October 27th, each week they're releasing a single figure. And we've gone to the Disney store, my wife and I, a couple of times to see if it's going to be a similar raffle style of a release. They've yet to give us any sort of confirmation. But they could be going down this path to generate a bit more hype behind these action figures, is driving people back to get them. And right now, with the second wave, we'll be getting Chewbacca with a Porg. We'll be getting Finn, Poe Dameron, Rose and BB-8, C-3PO, Captain Phasma, and Snoke. So, for me personally, when I look at this, if it's a limited release, I'm going to ask my wife to go to every single one. If it's a wide release, not going to be difficult, I'm going to wait till these drop in price. So that you can see from a collector, from someone that likes these but's not willing to pay full price if they're going to go on discount, compared to if they're limited release, what I'm willing to do to get these things. So I think from a line perspective, they need to start to change how they're doing that and do a limited release. It's going to really tick me off when I can't get them. But I think that's why they have to go with this line, because they're competing with the Black Series, similar scale, slightly more expensive. The detail on the armored figures and the weight and the die cast is awesome, but they can't compete with the human figures. So you're sitting on this weird, they're double competing with themselves with Hasbro and the Elite Series, and they need to do something to separate themselves from the Black Series, and making them ultra exclusive is a way to do that.
Yeah. You know, it's unfortunate with this line. I remember when they first came out, we were kind of comparing them to the Diamond Marvel Selects line, where they're nearly 7 inches tall, decent articulation, and they looked at the time sculpted better than the Marvel Legends. And as the series has progressed, it's been lacking. I feel the faces we've mentioned before are always kind of lacking in quality of the faces, and the articulation is not that great. These things are straight up meant to be in the box, which is a big disadvantage, because I feel like as much as of box collectors as we are, there's also a big group out there that are all about the poses, all about the articulation, and these guys just aren't on par with articulation at all. But like you mentioned, the weight is good, they feel great. If you can get them out of the box and just give them a certain pose, cool. You just can't get many poses out of them.
Yeah, I started pulling some of them out, the ones that I had duplicates of.
Yeah.
And the Kylo Ren, the K2 I got up here, and I've got the Death Trooper.
Right.
They look awesome.
Yes.
But again, the posability is limited.
It
You're
is.
basically a standing position with a gun or kind of doing a force choke type thing.
Yeah.
So there's some limitation there. You don't have that ability like a Black Series to have them kind of crawling like you do a lot with your Marvel Legends on the individual stands. They're probably too heavy to put in those plastic stands too.
For sure.
To have them kind of, I guess you're not really having them jumping around or floating much. But so it's a great line.
Yeah.
I really like it. But they've got to find a way to separate themselves out from the Black Series and to get away from having these things shelf camp until they're $7 a piece.
Right.
Because it's just not feasible. I'm really surprised they have this depth and this volume coming out in this line. I thought they were really limited for The Last Jedi because it hasn't been successful in the last 2 runs.
Yeah.
But one series that has been quite successful is the Black Series. And we've got a good indication here as to what Wave 3 is going to look like. It's, for the most part, repacks of Wave 2 and Wave 1. But we are getting the Snoke in the 6-inch without the throne, without that EB game exclusive throne. We're getting Rose. And we're also getting the 2016 fan choice figure, Jaina Solo.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a big figure. I think it's going to play a lot like the Revan.
Definitely.
It's going to act as a short pack exclusive almost when it's not. It's a 1 per case, but this figure is going to be very, very difficult to find. If you find the Jaina Solo, grab it. Even if you're not completely familiar with the Legends character, I know I've read a couple stories with her in it, same with Revan, but having that figure, that exclusive, what appears to be an exclusive figure, is going to look awesome. I think this is going to be the prize for that wave, because repacking in this, you've got Maze and the Praetorian Guard, Snoke's Guard there, and you've also got Kylo, Rey, and Luke. So we're going to see a lot of Kylo, Rey, and Luke.
Oh, yeah.
That's 2 waves for Rey and Luke and 3 waves for Kylo.
Yeah.
So Kylo is going to be taking up shelf space until episode 9.
For sure. Yeah, that Maze, that Mascatata, when I saw her, the image, her goggles were up. Do we know if those come down?
Not sure. I've not seen the figure in person.
Oh, okay.
So she comes out in Wave 2 as well.
Okay.
So she's going to be a relatively easy figure to find.
Yeah.
Same with the Praetorian Guard.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that guard. I'm not feeling them. The more I'm looking at them, and I know George Lucas was inspired by like samurais and whatnot, but the more I'm looking at that armor, the more it feels out of Star Wars.
Yeah.
But besides that, I'm not really impressed with this wave that much. I'm not big fan of Finn's look, the Imperial undercover.
Yes, Wave 2.
Wave 2.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rose, is that Wave 2 or 3?
Wave 3.
That's Wave 3, so that should be a cool pickup. Snoke, obviously.
Yeah.
That's a huge pickup, but it's Solo. That's massive. I don't even know much about that character, but I am a fan of Legends, and I got Revan. You got Revan, so you got to have that exclusive Legends.
Yeah, because we're probably never going to see this character again in plastic form. Maybe in the vintage collection, but they seem to be really veering away from this Legends line, and they didn't do the 3-in-3 or the 6-inch fan choice figure this year. It was for the vintage line, which Dr. Aphra got voted for. So if you're out there, if you're on the run and you see the Jaina Solo, just grab it.
Yeah.
I'll find it.
You will. Yeah, you will. Also, the one from Wave 2 that now becomes a big figure is the General Leia.
Okay, yeah, that's a must have.
Yeah, that's going to be a hard one to get to. So if you see the General Leia, if you see the Jaina Solo, those are the big ones to get.
How about the Poe?
He could be another one that might not get repacked down the line, and if you see him, you gotta grab him.
Grab him.
Yeah,
he's worth it too, especially because they really improved. From what we've seen, the images, they improved on his face sculpt a lot. Going back to the last 2 is
3D imaging, haven't they? At
I go back to the Marvel Legends, Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
That face sculpt is incredible of that actress, and they've been stepping it up with Orlando as well. All these guys' face. Adam Driver. If you go back to the first Kylo Ren maskless one compared to the most recent Last Jedi Kylo Ren, it's like night and day. It's great.
We even look at the Lukes between the farm boy Luke that we got in the Black Series, the single carded, versus the one in the Landspeeder.
Yes.
And then the updated Leia as well from the Black Series to the 40th.
Yeah.
So they've made big headway in their face sculpts, which sets them apart from the Elite Series.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what it comes back to. We just mentioned the posability, the articulation, and the face. Yeah. Faces are like night and day between those series.
Yeah. So 2 big waves coming out within the next couple of months. We're going to see this Wave 3 and hopefully Wave 2 at some point soon here. I imagine Wave 3 in Canada at least will be closer to the release of The Last Jedi, maybe into end of November or early November. It's hard to say. These things are up for pre-order on places like Dorkside Toys, Big Bad Toy Store. So they're saying Q4. Wow. So that's within the next 3 months. But we still have yet to see Wave 2 up here, and people are getting that on Force Friday.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I'm sure these are going to be hitting hard, but those are the figures I think you have to chase. Yeah. It's the Jaina Solo, it's that General Leia in the next 2 waves. So those are going to be the big ones. Get your hands on them.
Yeah.
If you can and send them to us, that'd be great. So we had a few other things we were going to go through here, but we're running a bit short on time. The last thing, though, that I do want to touch on quickly is the book From a Certain Point of View dropped yesterday, October 2nd. And this is a short story book composed of 40 different stories that focus in and around, I believe it's A New Hope, but it's characters from the periphery, background characters. It gives a little bit of insight as to what's going on and telling little individualized stories there. The thing that it kind of got me about this, and some of the guys over in the Commonwealth have been talking about this, is they're referring to it as soft canon.
Huh. Soft canon. I don't like that.
So it's canon that's maybe they're playing a little fast and loose. There's a Yoda story in there. There's a few other stories that they're questioning how much control, say, the story group had over this, or if they just kind of gave the writers the freedom to just tell a story. And how do you feel about soft canon in Star Wars in general, outside of this book even?
Yeah, don't like it. I don't like it at all. They've worked so hard to wipe away the legend stuff. Why now present us with something like this book that's 36 hours where it's questionable canon? I don't get that, but I'm not on board with it.
Yeah. I don't think all of it is soft canon, but
Yeah.
there might be some parts of it.
Right.
It's a pretty cool concept, pretty cool idea. I think I'm going to definitely check it out, but we'll see.
Huh.
We'll see.
Yeah. I still got to go after Claudia Gray's Leia book.
Oh,
That's the next on my list.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. I've been hearing about it. Yeah.
So much to catch up on, so much to go through. We got a Rebels poster that was dropped as well.
Yes.
We don't have a ton of time to talk about that, but I think maybe we'll just touch on that. I was going to skip that, but I think we got to touch on it just a bit.
Cool.
So season 4 poster, we tossed it up on the website there, did a little article. The one big thing that I want to point out about this poster, though, and get your opinion on, is this wolf.
Big Bad Wolf.
Yeah, so this is a Filoni creation. This is a Wolf of Lothal or whatever it is.
Yes.
It's quite prominent on the poster, and it's sitting flanked by Thrawn and Governor Price. What are your thoughts on, just from a high level, we'll get into this in our Star Wars Rebels Alert after show. We're going to do a bit of a prelude to Star Wars Rebels before it airs on October 16th. We'll get into maybe a bit more detail, but just a high-level opinion on the presence and the prominence of this wolf on this poster.
I think we're going to get a lot more of this wolf than we thought. I mean, obviously the theory's been debunked that the wolf and Ahsoka are one and the same. Mm-hmm. They might have some kind of connection, but I don't really know. Going to the poster, I don't really like the poster actually that much. I think it's kind of bland. With every Rebels season, I feel like we've gotten them. They've aged a little bit more, at least especially going from season 2 to season 3. Here it looks like we were with the exact same cast that we have from the last season, but yet this is meant to tie in to Rogue One, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, I think this season, more so than the others, is going to be almost a continuum from the end of season 3 into season 4.
Oh, okay.
Because we're going straight to Mandalore.
Right, yes.
First episodes with Sabine, right?
So maybe there'll be a time jump later on in the season.
Potentially.
That would make a lot more sense to get to Rogue One. But yeah, this wolf is very interesting. I don't know exactly where this is going to fall, but this is the platform to do it. My thing is with Rebels is the stuff like the Bendu and even the Night Sisters, which I know were introduced back in the Clone Wars. It's stuff you can only do in the animated series. I don't feel like you can do that in the movies or even in one-shot films, like a Star Wars story. So if they're going to do some kind of hokiness with this wolf, this is the place to do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I've said before, my theory on the wolf is that was my Force tripping theory.
Yes.
The wolf isn't actually physically present. It's something that's involved in some sort of Force vision with Ezra and Kanan.
Right.
And I'm sticking with that. But I think I agree that because of its prominence on the poster, it's going to play a much bigger role than we had initially anticipated.
Right.
With this, I thought it was going to be a one and done type thing. It looks like it could potentially be a running theme or a running presence throughout the series.
What do you think of its green eyes?
I don't know. It looks a bit more evil-ish.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Because we have seen, I think in the trailer we saw Ezra obviously writing it, and I thought we saw Ezra have a connection with it.
At one point? It looked like it,
Ezra, with Jedis, you have Quinlan Vos, who has a connection with like lightsabers and tools. Anything he touches, he can kind of get the history of the object. Anakin was a great pilot. He had fast reflexes. He's a tinkerer of some sorts. Mace Windu kind of has a pinpoint power where he can break down an object, and Ezra obviously has some kind of like beast control we've seen throughout the season. Do you think that's the connection between Ezra and this animal? Like that's his Force like superpower?
Yeah, it looks like it could be.
Yeah,
like it's I don't know. And Filoni loves the wolves. And
he loves the wolves. Yeah,
that's kind of cool how you laid that out. How each Force user, or at least some of them, has kind of this ability to connect with something deeper or on a deeper level.
Right.
And this could be Ezra's thing, that he connects to animals in a different way.
Right. Right.
So I don't know. We're gonna get into all sorts of depth on that on our Star Wars Rebels Alert, our after show. We're gonna do a prelude episode before October 16th, before all of this airs. So that's coming in the next couple of weeks, and kind of go through some of our predictions and theories as to what we think is gonna happen in this season, maybe surrounding some deaths, maybe with this wolf, what we're going to see with Thrawn. So we got a lot of detail we're going to go into there, but we're going to spare Sunjay.
What do you mean?
Sunjay's still here.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think the wolf represents the wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good theory. No, we got a big couple weeks coming up here. We got Rebels. We've got prelude episodes to Thor, Ragnarok, and Justice League coming in early November. New York Comic Con is this weekend as well.
Wow.
So
More
next
toy
week,
talk.
yeah, more toy talk.
Yeah.
Probably a trailer or two. There's rumors that The Last Jedi trailer is coming out next week.
Ooh.
I've already made a commitment to not watch it, and I'm really, really, really contemplating that now. I'm probably going to break it and watch it. So next week's going to be another big week. We're wrapping up New York Comic Con, potentially another Justice League trailer,
Yep.
Yeah.
potentially a Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer, and who knows, maybe we're going to get that Infinity War trailer.
Right.
I would just lose my mind if we
Oh,
got all
man.
of that.
Man, can you imagine?
If they show that Infinity War trailer at New York Comic Con again and don't show it to the
Oh,
public,
man.
I'm
Yeah.
going to lose my
Yeah.
mind.
Oh, yeah.
It'll
Oh, yeah.
play before Star Wars for sure.
100%, but I don't want
Yeah.
to wait till December to watch. I gotta wait till December to watch The Last Jedi. I don't want to wait to watch the Infinity War trailer.
Can you go without watching it? Because we're only like what 6 months away.
without watching the Infinity War trailer?
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I'm gonna. Okay, I'll try.
Wow, you gonna do it?
I'm gonna go.
You're gonna go
no.
cold into Infinity War?
Well, I already did see the trailer online. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did.
We didn't condone.
All right, no more trailers from here on out.
Uh,
You're not watching a single Infinity War trailer.
No,
That's
Wow.
incredible.
I'm gonna try. We'll see how long it lasts.
Jeez.
Especially
1
if
hour.
yeah.
All right, we're gonna cap it off there. We're way over our normal time limit. We had a lot to catch up on there. We're gonna be coming at you guys next Thursday with a new episode covering New York Comic Con. Hopefully some trailers. We've got our Iron Man 3 and Thor 2 retrospective episodes dropping this month. We've promised to get them both out, especially that Thor before Ragnarok drops. We need to talk about Thor: The Dark World. And
Do we
yeah,
have to?
Yeah, we're gonna talk about Thor: The Dark World.
Yeah. Didn't we see that in theaters together?
Potentially, I think that might. No, here's the thing: Iron Man 3
Yeah.
was our friend Tyler's his wedding, so we missed that.
That's right.
And Thor: The Dark World, I think, was the first time when we. That's when we started going together all the time.
Yeah, that's right. And I don't think we've missed a Marvel one. No, we probably have.
Yeah,
we've missed quite a
Guardians
bit.
we did, but- We've seen
Guardians.
this every time. We've seen them all together. I actually know.
Well, we've all seen them, just not together.
We are seeing Thor: Ragnarok together.
That's
and
right.
Justice League, I will commit to coming and seeing it with you as well.
Woo!
Yeah.
IMAX out in the Northwest.
Yeah, way far away. but in
Sorry,
beautiful
guys.
seats.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's been absolutely fantastic being back, talking news, comic books, all of that. This is a big wrap-up, big mixed bag episode, but I've had a lot of fun doing it. Can't wait to get talking more next week. If you'd like to be a part of this show, almost forgot the outro. You can always grab us at thenerdrm@gmail.com. You can hit us up on Facebook or YouTube. Our Twitter handles, like always, are at the end of the episode. And you can also grab us on our website. Just use the Contact Us page. And make sure you're going and checking out thenerdroom.net. We're throwing up articles there periodically. And also amalgamating all the trailers, posters, all of the dates, everything you could think of for Marvel and Star Wars fandom. Kind of chucking it all in one spot so you don't have to go searching all over the internet for things. Just come to thenerdroom.net.
I like it.
Yes. All right, guys. Until next week for the Nerd Room, I'm Tim.
I'm Troy.
And I'm Sunjay.
And thank you for entering the Nerd Room. This has been a Nerd Room podcast production. You can find our hosts, Tim, Troy, and Sunjay on Twitter at TheNerdRM, TroyTheBoy87, and Sunjabby. For more content from the Nerd Room, check out thenerdroom.net. And don't forget to subscribe to the Nerd Room on iTunes, Podbean, and YouTube. Be sure to head over to StarWarsCommonwealth.com to find more podcasts in the Star Wars Commonwealth Podcast Network, including Talk Star Wars, Tumbling Saber, Generation X-Wing, Rogue Squadron Podcast, Skyros Podcast, and San Diego Sabres. Follow the Star Wars Commonwealth on Twitter at SW Commonwealth and take your first steps into a larger world.